Groups like the YMCA were vital to people of color in the 1940s. This was a time when segregation and racism were part of daily living while enduring World War II. In addition to churches, families, and schools, the YMCA helped young people of color to obtain self-worth, morale, and purpose in the midst of negative reinforcement of those times. Thanks to the contributions of civil rights activist Edwin Thomas Pratt, the Seattle public school system was eventually integrated. Unfortunately, Pratt didn't see the fruits of his labor because he was assassinated at his door on January 26, 1969, allegedly for his role in fighting for equal employment opportunities in Seattle, Washington. Edwin, a native of Coconut Grove, Florida, was the executive administrator of the Seattle branch of the National Urban League. However, long before he became a civil rights activist, he was an impressionable teenager in the Y, under the mentorship of Manatee Bannerman. Bannerman loved sports. At Clark University, he was a star football player and golfer. Furthermore, the Young Men's Christian Association, aka YMCA, was one of the many organizations that he belonged to. His love for sports and service manifested to benefit his own community. After receiving his bachelor's degree in social science in 1939, Mr. Bannerman became a natural science teacher at his alma mater, Booker T. Washington High School in Overtown, Florida. In the beginning of his teaching career, he took a 7-year hiatus to dedicate his service to the Carver branch of the YMCA as a mentor to teenage boys of color in Miami, Florida. As a mentor, Bannerman provided hands-on opportunities for the boys to engage in various sports, travel, art, outdoor activities, leadership, skills, spiritual growth, and character building. Mr. Bannerman became the first executive director over the George Washington Carver branch of the YMCA in the mid-1940s. Aside from mentoring, it was his job to maintain and establish relationships with other adults who would help him to create more Y groups in the Miami area and lead them. Under his leadership, the YMCA grew from one club of 15 boys to 26 organized groups around the colored aspect of the YMCA Miami area. James A. Johnson, who would eventually become a doctor, was recruited by Mr. Bannerman to join the Booker T. Washington HIY Club in the mid-1940s. In the late 1940s, the jeweled HIY pin was awarded by the National YMCA to individuals who made outstanding contributions to the YMCA programs in their communities, states, regions, and in the nation. Mr. Bannerman nominated me to be a recipient and presented a jeweled HIY pin to me at an awards ceremony when I graduated from high school. I will always cherish the memory of that honor, Dr. Johnson wrote. Dr. Johnson graduated from high school in 1948. Later in life, he built a private practice in dermatology and became a medical director for many institutions. Products of the YMCA, Dr. Johnson and civil rights activist Pratt are just two of the many individuals who had the opportunity to be mentored by Mr. Manatee Bannerman. In 1952, he resigned from the YMCA and returned to his career with the Miami-Dade County Public School System. Bannerman went on to serve in the capacity of truant officer, as well as an educator, administrator, assistant principal, and principal at various high schools and junior high schools, such as Booker T. Washington, D.A. Dorsey, MacArthur, Brownsville, and George Washington Carver. The Y's website said that the first YMCA was founded by George Williams in 1844, and the first African American YMCA was founded by Anthony Bowen in 1853. The YMCA prides itself for playing a part in influencing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. before he inspired the world. Before he won the Nobel Peace Prize, before he delivered his world-changing I Have a Dream speech, and before he became an ordained pastor, Martin Luther King Jr. was just a kid at the Y. This is from the Y's website.